प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद।
जय जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद, गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद।
प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद।
जय जय गुरु विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज की
जय।
जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की
जय।
नंद गौड़ी वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर की
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैतधाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त की
जय।
Thy God Premanande.
हरि हरि बोल।
All God is assembled devotees. All God is assembled devotees. All God is assembled devotees. All God is Guru Govind. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
भगवते
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
नमो
ओम
भगवते
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं
देवीं
चैव
सरस्वतीं
नरोत्तमं
व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्गे। मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं चैतन्यमीश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवम्।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ണ റോജി. ഇത് അവിടെന്ന് കുറെ ആൾക്കാർ വന്നിട്ടാ കരുതപ്പ പോയല്ലോ.
ഓ ഓ ഓ ഓ ഓക്കെ.
അറിയില്ലേന്ന്.
നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. Start. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 15, the yoga of the supreme person, and today's verses 3, 4 and 5. So we read the verse first. Na rupamasyeha tadopalabhyate namdo na chadirna sampradishta ashwatthamenam suvirudhamulam asangajastrena dridena chitva tadapadam tatparimargidavyam यस्मिन् गदा न निवर्तन्ति भूयां तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यदप्रवर्ति प्रसुता पुराणे। न रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्दो न चादिर्न सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा तदपदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गदा न निवर्तन्ति भूयां तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यदप्रवर्ति प्रसुता पुराणी। न रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्दो न चादिर्न सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा तदपदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गदा न निवर्तन्ति भूयां तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यदा प्रवर्ति प्रसुता पुराणी। Yes, Katyani Maji.
നമോ ഭഗവതേ വാസുദേവായ. നരൂപമസ്യേഹ തതോപലഭ്യതേ നാന്തോ ന ചാതിർന ച സംപ്രതിഷ്ഠാ അശ്വത്ഥമേനം സുഗ്രീഡമൂലം അസംഗശസ്ത്രേണ ദൃഢേന ചിത്വാ തത്പദം തതഃ പദം പരിമാർഗിതവ്യം യസ്മിൻ ഗതാ ന നിവർത്തന്തി ഭൂയഃ തമേവ ചാദ്യം പുരുഷം പ്രപദ്യേ യതഃ പ്രവൃത്തി പ്രസദാ പുരാണി. ഹരേ കൃഷ്ണ പ്രഭുജി.
Vaikari Mahaaji.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. न रूपमस्यः तदोपलभ्यते नान्दो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रदिष्ट अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा तदा पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यदा प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणी. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Yes, translation. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this tree with the weapon of detachment. So doing, one must seek that place from which, having once gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything has begun, and in whom everything is abiding since time immemorial. Right, verse 5. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta gama Gandvairvimukta sukha samjnai gachandya mudha padamavyayamta. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama Gandvairvimukta sukha samjnai gachandya mudha padamavyayamta. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama Gandve vimukta sukha dukkha sapnye gacchanya mudha padamavyayamta. Yes, Katyani Mati.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nirmana sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivutta kamaha Dvandairvimukta sukha dukkha samjnai gacchantya moodaha padamavyayam tat. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Vaikari.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nirmana moha jidasanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandair vimukta sugadukka samjnai gacchantya muda padam avyayam tat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation. One who is free from illusion, false prestige, and false association, who understands the eternal, who is done with the material lust, and is freed from the duality of happiness and distress, and who knows how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attains to that eternal kingdom. Om Jnana Dasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurunmena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandhigam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadagamelam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsam Shri Rupam Sagajadam Saganagarinadamidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhudam Parijanasaidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishagan Vilamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagalpade Govesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Taptadanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhan Sude Devi Pranamami Haritre Vancha Kalpadrubescha Kripa Sindhuvi Evacha Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Imade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Idinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम
राम
हरे राम राम
हरे
राम
हरे
हरे हरे
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण
कृष्ण
कृष्ण हरे
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण हरे हरे
राम
हरे राम हरे राम राम
हरे
राम हरे हरे
हरे
हरे कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
हरे
हरे हरे
राम
हरे राम
राम
हरे राम
राम
राम राम
हरे
हरे हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
न रूपस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्दो न चादिर्न सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेवं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा तदा पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गदा न निवर्तन्ति भूयाम् तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यदा प्रवर्ति प्रसदा पुराणी. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this tree with the weapon of detachment. So doing, one must seek that place from which, having once gone, one never returns, and there surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything has begun and in whom everything is abiding since time immemorial. Hare Krishna. So, using a metaphor of a banyan tree, Krishna is very nicely explaining the material worlds and the material living. Material living or the living of the life of rather, the life of a residents of these material worlds, residents, jivas, who are entrapped or rather who's embodied or encaged in this material. So some terms, some keywords which we have explained. So we just quick reminder of that. What does Ashwagandha tree stands for? Ashwagandha maram endana? It's a material word. What is the nature of this material world? The roots are going up, branches are going down. Primary root is Brahmaloka, and the branches going down are the various planets below this Satya Loka of Brahmaji. And Avyaya is called Avyaya because it is everlasting for those residents who doesn't want to come out of this, or not even aware that they are trapped, they are in this material world. Because for them, what life they are going through is the only one they know. They don't know about the spiritual world. What they see in day to day, what they do every day is life for them. And so for them, it continues forever and ever. But for those few persons who understand this, for them it is not ever, because they are always trying to get out of this, and bhaktas are very successful in doing this. Chandansi means the choice verses of Vedas, which are compared to the leaves of this tree, the leaves which give attraction, beauty, and greenery to a tree. Same way, these verses which give meaning, so-called meaning to the life here. The meaning is that you should always aspire for higher and higher things. People are always very interested in aspiration. They always want to reach higher and higher in terms of comforts, economic development, higher positions, recognition, everything. So they are result oriented, their actions are result oriented, and the Vedas give ample opportunities for those persons who are interested in upliftment of their material life or their sense life. So that is compared to the leaves, and those who know this, the structure of this material world, understand that this material world is only a reflection of the real world, knows how to cut down this material world and go over to the real world, or cut down this unreal or tree, which is meant to be cut down, and go out to the place where the real tree is residing or is being there. The real tree is there. So that is the correct knowledge. One should not have a limited knowledge of this material world. He should have a complete knowledge of the spiritual world also. Then only he can cut down this material world and go out to spiritual world. And such a person is called Vedavit. And in the second verse, we have seen these various branches are going up and down also. And here these branches are the living beings, the forms, various forms, 84 lakh species, who are differently placed in different planets according to your pious and impious activities. Some are devas, some are asuras, some are yakshas, some are human beings, some are reptiles, some are bees, some are birds, some are trees, some are aquatics, all those things. And the tree is nourished by the gunas, and the tree's branches are enjoined at the tips by the objects of senses. The branch is a gross body, tips of the branches are the senses, and the buds enjoying the branches, or the tips are the sense objects, because senses are always in very proximity, close proximity with the sense objects, which means senses are always going after sense objects. Their only business. And there are secondary roots which gives strength to this bondage, which continues this bondage, and these secondary roots are the impressions or imprints of the previous lives, which give rise to more and more activities. And I will explain this. Krishna is explaining how to cut down this tree. In the next two verses, first two verses of this third verse, Krishna says that the real form of this material world is not known to anyone. Nobody knows its beginning, Nobody knows its end, and nobody knows its foundation in the sense how it is being supported. Who is supporting, how it is being supported, nobody knows. Because people, by and large, are only aware of what is actually going on or what actually they know. For example, I know the name of my father. I know the name of my son also. Likewise, those things which are happening in our life, we are aware of this. Other than that, we have no idea of what is this material life. Person more inquisitive may be interested in various branches of material science like chemistry, physics, mathematics, computer science, etc., 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 biology. But even then, he's searching all for truth. Why people are not interested? Because they are not interested in finding out. They see the world outside, but they don't understand, or they are not very inquisitive of how this world has come into being. They see the lives around us, around them, but they're not interested on how this life originated. And they see so many things which are supporting this material life, but they don't know the real cause of the support. So, for them, there is no end, no beginning, no end, and no support. But actually, we know it is not like that. We know this material world lifespan or existence is the duration of the life of Brahma, which is calculated, as we know, as 313 trillion years. Now, after this life of Brahma, the material world is destroyed. But then again, it is recreated and again destruction. And so this creation and destruction is done repeatedly and repeatedly. And since no one knows, that's why no one knows where actually the creation started and when it will end. Nobody knows. So in that way, it is right for everyone, because we don't know when all this started. We know this, the world which we are seeing, the present one, is based on the lifespan of Brahma, and the present Brahma is in his second half of his lifespan. But we know also that after this Brahmas, so many other Brahmas will also come. So in that aspect, this is continuous. There is no end and there is no beginning. And we don't know the support. But Krishna will explain the support in verses 12 and 14, 12, 13, 14. How this material world and the resistance are being supported by Krishna only. Krishna is a foundation, Krishna is a stabilizing force. But Sampradishta, actually nobody knows, but only devotees know that Krishna is Sampradishta. So that being the case, this Ashwatha is strongly enrooted. Sudhamulam is strongly enrooted. The Suviruddha means strongly rooted. Suviruddha is strongly rooted. Why it is? How it is strongly rooted? Because there are two types of roots. One primary roots, Mahatattva, and the secondary roots, which are the impressions. So that is why this Ashwatha tree is so deep rooted, and therefore it is very difficult to cut down also. When otherwise, it requires a lot of strength to cut down a tree, normal trees. But when the tree has got so much roots, it will be very difficult for us to cut down this tree. But still, the tree has to be cut down, and there is only one weapon to cut down this.
Prabhuji,
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And there was a phone call which I had to attend. So, right. So, it is very strongly included. It's difficult. But then there is a weapon to cut down this. And that weapon is called detachment. What is the cause for this tree? It is attachment. That in the very beginning, I told you that Krishna, while explaining the gunas, it is jnana. And another part of the limb of bhakti, one limb is jnana, other limb is detachment. So we have to practice detachment. Then only we can really understand how we are, how we can get out of this. In the last chapter, Krishna was talking about udasinavat. Udasinavat, as if detached, as if indifferent. So the one way to cut down this tree, it means to end this, our cycle of BODD in the present life, is to be detached from the material activities for which the material desires have to stop. The material activities can stop only when the material desires are ended. And to end these material desires, we need detachment. Asanga. Asanga means detached. Sanga means attachment. Asanga means detachment. Means we should be detached to material desires. Because that is a cause for our continuous existence. And the material desires culminates in lust. So the center point, the pivotal point of the material desires is lust, and that lust has to be cut down. It has to be destroyed completely. And then what happens when you are cutting down this tree? At the base of the tree, the roots, you will find the treasure. Sometimes you feel that when a tree is cut down, the base of it, the roots, some objects you may find sometimes, like some vessels, like that. But here it is mentioned that at the base of the roots, when that tree is cut down, then you will find a treasure. And that treasure is the origin of tree, which none other than the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. So, tadapadam tat parimargidavyam. That path has to be searched out. Padam means path. Parimargidavyam means searched out. You have to search out that path which will lead you to Krishna, or the place where Krishna is. Because as we have seen, this material world is one half. Actually speaking, it's only 1/4 only. But if you draw a line 180 degrees here below and 180 degrees over, then you'll find that there is a spiritual world also. So that is where the Supreme Personality is residing, and so we are to move over to transmigrate to the spiritual world. We are to transmigrate to the spiritual world from the material world. Tada pada tat parimargita. Parimargita, how to search out that path? The path is the spiritual world, or the destination, or the path that is leading to the. That we have to search out means there is method. And that method is Navadha. Searching on the path is called Navadha. Starting from Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padasmaranam, the 9 process of bhakti. That is Parimargita. Search out the method. Then what happened? When once you reach there, there is no return from that place. Why so? Because you are meeting that person there. Tameva chadyam purusham pravadye. This method of searching out this one will lead to the surrender. The method of searching out the path leading to the Supreme Person will ultimately lead you to surrender to the Supreme Person. So Navada is meant to surrender to Krishna. And those who are surrendered only can understand who Krishna is. And who is Krishna? Yada pravarti prasada purani. Yada pravarti prasada purani. From where everything has come, from time immemorial. So, by and large, people are confused because there are so many things, whether there is world is real, world is unreal, world is temporary, world is permanent. So many opinions. What Madhvacharya says that the world is real because although temporary, the process of destruction and creation is going on endlessly. So that way, it is real only. Only one, the real thing can only be repeated again, again, and again. The temporary thing, once that is destroyed, will be finished. But the real world, the actual world, is actually spiritual world. And therein resides Krishna. And you have to search out that path and go over to the spiritual world from whom everything has begun. So the beginning of the spiritual, the material world, we can understand that the cause is Krishna only. Like Krishna, he has, in the 14th chapter, beginning itself, Krishna says that, Am bija pradapida. So he is very clearly mentioned this. Mama yoni mahadvirda tasmin gada bijam dadamiham. So the cause actually is Krishna only. That is here given as Yada Pravrti Prasada Purani. From time immemorial, this has happened. And Krishna is the cause. And we are to find out the cause of all causes, and Krishna is the cause of all causes. And our journey will only end when we are able to reach that point when we see the cause of all causes, person to person. That is when we meet with Krishna. And once we meet with Krishna, there is no point of return. Yasmin gada na nivartandi bhuya. Yasmin gada na nivartandi bhuya. Once you reach Krishna's Golok Vrindavan, or the place where Krishna resides, or when you are in this present life itself, when you are free from the material conception of life, understand everything is Krishna only. Everything is Krishna only. Then that itself is a point of no return. Even though you may be residing in the material world, once you understand this, that material world is nothing but manifestation of Krishna only, and everything is connected to Krishna only, there itself your engagement in the material world be over. You will be firmly rooted in Krishna consciousness. And who is this person who is reaching the point of no return? What are his qualifications? We have seen last chapters, 13, 12th chapter, and the 14th chapter, so many qualities are described of the person's bhaktas. Or here, the persons who have cut down this tree and reached the point of no return and traced down the origin, and then not coming back. What are his qualifications? That is given in the verse 15. Nirmana moha jita sangadosha adhyatmanita nitya vinivrittata dande vimukta sugadukta sapnye gachandya mudha padamavyemta. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 qualities which is described. First is nirmana, other is nirmoha, then jida sangadosha, adhyatma nitya, vinivritta kamaha, then they vimuktaha. So what is nirmana? Mana means one who considers himself very great. In 13th chapter we have seen this. 13th chapter when Krishna is dealing with jnana, verses 8 to 13. How it is starting? Anamitvam adambit amanitvam amanitvam mana. Mana means pride. Mana means pride. And what is pride? Thinking yourself very, very puffed up. One who always seeks respect from others. Mana. One who thinks he is God himself. So this is mana, pride. And opposite is pridelessness, nirmana, pridelessness. And pridelessness is adhering to these navada. Now I have posted 2 posts today, just about half an hour back before the start of class, Vani course on humility. Please go through this. It's very, very important that you should read this. So what is pridelessness? Krishna is, Prabhupada is explaining very nicely by asking so many questions. Which means that when you are adhering to the 9 processes of bhakti, very strictly, that is the sign of a prideless person. This is not an artificial humility. Oh, I am very fallen and all that. Yes. Trying to be very humble to always to others. That is not a real humility. That is artificial humility. Real humility is strictly adhering to the principles of Bhakti Yoga. So nicely explained in Bhagavatam. And working for Krishna. Working for Krishna means preaching and book distribution. All those things are included in working for Krishna. So when you are very enthusiastically engaged in preaching and when you are enthusiastically engaged in book distribution, that is a sign of humility. Because humility means one who is situated in his original position as a servant of Krishna. That is real humility. So when you are engaged in the 9 limbs of bhakti, and when you are engaged in preaching and book distribution, etc., etc., that much time you are engaged in activities of the sort, and then you become automatically humble. This is nirmana. Then nirmoha, illusion. Illusion which consider yourself to be other than what you exactly are. Illusion is understanding things the opposite, not properly understanding things as they are. Knowledge or jnana is understanding things as they are, while illusion is the opposite. So moha is an account of ajnana. When you are not in knowledge, you are in illusion. So nirmana, nirmoha, that means the person is not in illusion and he is not proud. Jita sangha dosha, yes, sangha means, dosha means the 3 modes of nature. Get detached from these 3 modes. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyam Bhavarjuna. Get detached from three modes of nature and get detached from persons who are in the gunas. We ourselves should be detached from gunas, and we should detach ourselves from persons who are in gunas. Then only we can really conquer these doshas. Jita means one who is able to conquer. Sangha dosha. Sangha dosha means on account of faults, on account of the modes of nature, and account of association persons who are in these modes. Adhyatma nitya, always contemplating on our real nature. Adhyatma nitya means constantly. Adhyatma means our original position. So when you are constantly contemplating on the real nature of our nature, of us, then we are engaged in adhyatma. And that has to be constant, always. That means you should never, even for a fraction of a second, be removed from the platform of our real position, which is spirituality. We are spirit, and that means spirituality means the nature of the spirit. And when you are always in the spiritual mode, that is adhyatma nitya. Vinivritta kamaha, completely devoid of lust and offshoots of lust, means other desires. Lust is the root, and other things are the branches, you can say, like properties, sons, daughters, wealth, etc., 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 friends, society, country. Vinivritta kama, dandve vimukta, dandva. We know what is dandva. What is dandva? Dualities. Duality of sukha, dukkha. Duality of honor, dishonor. These dualities are on account of our imprints. We have the conception of these things. This conception of these things are based on our impressions that has been there from time immemorial. So our conception of sukha, dukkha, our conception of honor, dishonor, everything is there. So one person who has been able to quell these impressions can end these dualities. So this person is able to do that. Dande vimuktaha. Yes, is liberated from these impressions or vasanas, which give rise to dukkha, dvandas, in the terms of sukha and dukkha. Then agachanti amudha. Amudha means one who has surrendered. Amudha. Mudha means one doesn't know how to surrender. Amudha means one who has surrendered. Because ultimately, only surrender to Krishna will be the ultimate qualification for you to be eligible to be promoted to the Golok Gurudam. So let us all surrender to Krishna. And the best way to surrender to Krishna is continuously chant his name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram.
Ram Hare Hare.
Thank you very much. Right? Hare Krishna. So Vaikuru, you can chant this, recite Narasimha.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Yes, Mataji, if you know, you can sing. No problem. Namaste Narasimhaya. Shilatangam.
Shilatanganakalaye Ito Narasimha Arado Narasimha Yado Yato Yami Tato Narasimha Behir Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha Narasimham Adi Sharanam Prapatye Tava Kara Kamala Bare Nakha Alpuda Sringa Dalida Hiranyakashipu Tanupringa Kesavadruda Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadicha Hare Jaya Jagadicha Hare Jaya Jagadicha Hare Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol 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 Hari Hari Bol
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Sri
Shuddhavakti
Narasimha
Vinashagari
Ukram
Narasimhe
Veeram
Bhagavaki.
Mahavishnu Jalandam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityum Mrityum Namamyaham Hare
Sri
Krishna
Narasimha, Jai
Sri
Narasimha.
Narasimha Jai 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 Narasimha Jai Jai Narasimha Dev Jaya Praladesha
Pradesh.
जय पद्ममुख पद्मभृंग। हरे कृष्ण। भगवान की जय।
नरसिंह भगवान की,
भगवान की जय।
विष्णु भक्त शेष बड़ा महाराज की,
जय।
गो प्रेमानंदे।
विभोर।
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय, गो प्रेमानंदे।
विभोर।
हरे कृष्णा।